Today can be the turning point in your life by making a simple decision.
Fundamental questions of navigation. Where am I? Where am I going? And how do I get there from here?
I invite the leaders of our planet to ask themselves these three questions before they make any crucial decisions.
But if you don't make decisions, you're going to stay right where you are.
We are all map makers.
We are in a time of transition.
If we're going to change, we have to change the direction that we're going.
Our planet needs leaders who know where they want to go.
When we change the direction we're going, then we want to make sure we're going in the right direction.
Leaders who can see the big picture.
Because if we're not, we're going to either go backwards or we're going to stay where we are.
Recognizing the psychological and the spiritual shifts and changes that need to be made, often from the inside to the outside.
To be able to shape your future, you have to be willing and able to change your paradigm.
Complex journeys require navigation. The path to the truth is one such journey. This is your GPS. Hairstyling services provided by J.D. Edwards Salon and Spa, Palmdale Shopping Plaza, Madera Street. Accessories provided by Chevette Williamson Jewelry. Standout jewelry for standout women.
Good afternoon, all, and welcome to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. I'm your host, Michelle Malcolm, and it's always a pleasure to be in your company. Thank you so much for tuning in today on this TGIF Open Line Friday, when you, as my co-host, get to help to decide the direction of the show, as we are going wherever you want us to go within reason, because some of you always run out from time to time. But as my co-host today, you are going to help to direct the show, because this is an opportunity for you to get off of your chest whatever is on your mind. So let's dive right into it. The ways that you can do that are by checking us out on Facebook, where we are streaming live to the official Michelle Malcolm or Global 99.5 FM page. And if you haven't already done so, if you're just tuning in, like and share the show. You can also catch us on YouTube on our official channels. And you can check us out on Cable Bahamas channel 974 or download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smartphone or smart device and check us out there. The numbers to call are 326-0271, 326-0271, 326-0272, 326-0272. The WhatsApp line for text messages and calls is 801-0271. 801-0271. You can either call that number or you can send us a text to that number via WhatsApp, and we will get it on the screen or read it for you or plug you into the conversation that way. Of course, as always, a huge welcome to our audience by way of radio. Thank you for tuning in, whether you're here in New Providence or in Grand Bahama or in the family of islands or anywhere from outside the archipelago. A huge welcome to you, especially on this TGIF Open Line show. We want to hear from all of you, not just us here at home, but even if you're part of the Bahamian diaspora living abroad, give us a shout and become a part of the show. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome. to GPS.
Madam Michelle,
Mm-hmm.
good afternoon.
Same to you.
I must say, last week when I called to thank you. I did not make you sweat or make you tired. I think myself and you had a very civil conversation
Mm-hmm.
last week. And I am happy to know that I did not make you tired. So I want to thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Madam Michelle, I want to ask you a question on marriage. Now I know,
You sure I'm the right person to ask? Because I ain't never been married.
right, fine, but I still want to ask you.
Okay.
I will not ask. I want to have a conversation with you on marriage.
Okay. Okay.
And I believe you are qualified and matured. And please don't take it personal.
I won't.
Okay, thank you so much. And I will be very respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say you were married. You're not married, and I know that. But let's say you were married. And you make yourself available in every which way for your husband. In terms of being the submissive wife, homemaker, you're already pretty already. As your age is still pretty. And you find out the man that you married, he is not chasing after you. What will you do if you know you're making yourself available for your husband?
Well, you know, there are a couple of ways to approach that. Because first of all, you got to figure out why he's not chasing after you. If he's not chasing after you because he's getting it from somewhere else, meaning another woman, which is often the case, from what I've been advised, is he not chasing after you because he's on the down low and he really ain't interested in you, but he playing on another team? Is he not checking for you because he has a medical condition, which causes him not to be able to fulfill his duties? Since they like to talk about it's the woman duty. So, yeah, it's the money. There are a couple of ways to answer that question. It really depends on the situation. You still
Can
there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm waiting.
Okay.
Can I respond?
Go ahead.
Now, it takes me to my next question.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like effeminate men and women get along very well. And you talked about it a few weeks ago on your show, that women know some of these men are on the down low and they still marry them. I say that to say this. If you have the quality of a woman, and the Bible said a husband supposed to chase after his wife. And if he does not chase after you, if you know you have these qualities, you should become suspicious. Would you agree?
Again, I guess it depends on the circumstances.
If you don't have a medical condition,
okay.
If you don't, let's rule that out. If you don't have a medical condition, and you know you have the qualities of a woman, and if he don't chase after you, would you agree that you should become suspicious?
Well, there's one more thing I didn't mention that we need to consider too. As a woman, did you let yourself go? And I am one of the first to call men shallow, but the truth is, men are visual creatures, and many times people get comfortable in a relationship, and they just let themselves go. So he married this Coke bottle shaped woman, and now when he come home, she, shaped like a linebacker, she dragging slippers, she wearing curlers, she
Yeah,
don't
big
make herself
t-shirt,
attractive, all
big
that
t-shirt,
stuff.
and curlers in the hair.
Yeah. So he ain't exactly attracted to her anymore physically.
Being
So
a
that could be a component as well. And
Mm-hmm.
then it could be a component where she glad he ain't checking because she going through her own situation where she may be going through menopause, for instance, and doesn't have the desire to be engaged with her husband in that way because of her own physical challenges. So this is a multi-layered question. But anyhow, all those things aside, go ahead, make your point.
I want to make this point, and like I said, I want to thank you
Mhm.
because I am convinced, Madam Michelle, that there's a conspiracy to wipe out the traditional family and traditional marriage.
Mhm.
I am so convinced with this. I don't know if Dr. Miles Monroe could come back and tell me something different. But I don't know if the world is watching as I watch what's going on in the world. A woman, a beautiful woman with the qualities, with grace. Any man should get excited to chase after his wife. But this marginal bill that I see a group of angry women went on Bay Street yesterday, tried to embarrass the Prime Minister and force his hands just because he did not implement marginal rate. And I do agree that we have some animals in the world. I do agree that we have some abusive men, but who born them? They was born from a woman. Who they had them for? Worthless man. But I agree, my sister, that spirit what went to Jamaica 2 weeks ago, I am convinced we're going to be forced into that spirit. And that's why it seems like man now is not chasing after a beautiful person like you.
I
Are
guess
you
you want me to. I guess you want me to comment.
you could comment, but I could hang up now. Can I?
Yeah, man. If that's it. That's
Why you laughing? Why are you laughing?
because you try to bait me into something. But anyhow,
I'm
I
trying to
listen.
cry. Am I sweating you? Or am I
No,
making you
no,
tired?
no. You ain't making me tired. No,
Huh?
no, not at all.
So what your angry sisters went on base for yesterday? They married a man. They angry just because they can't have their way and emasculating the man. Then they went and married. They went down on base trying to force the prime minister hand. Why don't they form their own all women party and see if they could win so they could have their way? What are they angry about?
I
Are you?
actually, yeah, I'm here. I actually pulled the clips from the women's group
Yeah.
that were protesting the contents of the bill, as well as the prime minister's response to them. So maybe we should allow them to speak through this soundbite, this clip, to hear what their concerns are, and then I can go ahead and play the prime minister's response, and then we can have a conversation after that. How's that?
Fine. But I did not make you tired, eh?
No, I good. I take my vitamins today, so you can't make me tired.
I make any sense? Do you get the gist of what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but again, I say let's listen to the report first. So
Okay.
you get to because you ask a question, what are they angry about? Well, they express what they're angry about in that report. So
Okay.
let's listen to that, and then let's listen to the prime minister's response, and then we can have a more
And always
informed
remember, I
discussion.
think I want to say to the sisters, make yourself available so your husband can always chase. When your husband is chasing after you, trust me, you have it going on. That's why we have these girls going in the mall, skimpy, because they're looking for attention. This is what a wife's supposed to do for her husband. Have a wonderful day.
I don't know if you're still there. Let me just say this. And again, I've never been married. But as a woman, let me give a word of advice to you men out there who are interested in relationships with women. Because some of y'all ain't want no woman, so y'all don't care one way or the other. But for those of you who are interested in a relationship with a woman, and you want that woman to always be available to you, y'all like to accuse us of being led by our emotions. You say y'all are the logical ones, we are the emotional ones. So if this is something that you are aware of, then I don't understand what is so logical about you thinking that you can trample all over our emotions, talk to us any kind of how, treat us any kind of how, um, put any and everything else ahead of us. But yet, when you ready to chase after us because you feeling a little itch that you need scratched, then we supposed to forget all what you have done to trample upon our emotions, and we supposed to just be available to you. We supposed to be at that point the submissive wife. It don't quite work like that. I have a friend who was going through some challenges with his wife at the time. They were having some issues in their relationship, and he came to me and he was saying, this and that, and she wouldn't do this and she wouldn't do that. And I knew for a fact that he was not treating her right. So I said to him, I said, listen, man, let me explain something to you. A woman's heart is like a garden. And she doesn't let any and everybody into that garden. And if she chose you as the person that she wants to let into that garden, and more often than not, you come and then you trample over the roses and you just mess the garden right up. You treat the garden any kind of way. You walk out, you come back when you feel like coming, you trample down all the... Eventually, she can close that gate. And you could come there with all your, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, I love you. Oh, I ain't gonna do it again. And there may be times that she opened that gate again. But when you see she locked that gate, you might as well hush. You talking to hear yourself. Because a woman will get to the point when she draw a line and say, that's it, buddy. You ain't getting another chance to trample my garden. And some of y'all might be genuinely sorry you treated her that way. But if you know a woman is an emotional creature that y'all like to accuse us of being all the time, then why is it logical in your mind for you to think that you could treat her any kind of way, but she's supposed to be available to you when you're ready for her to be available to you? It don't work like that. And any man with half a brain would know that if you want her to be available to you at all times, treat her with love. Cultivate that garden that she gave you the privilege of coming into. Don't think you could come in there with your bulldozer, tear down everything, and then when you're ready, she's supposed to be submissive and available to you. We are human beings. And yes, we have feelings. So if you want all access, then maybe you should remember that. You should court her. Not just when you want it, but court her in anticipation of when you want it. So you treat her with love all the rest of the time. So when you come, unless she got some kind of medical condition or hormonal imbalance, she ain't got no problem submitting to you. But y'all want to treat this woman like any kind of way. But she's supposed to be submissive and ready. When you ready, because you ready. Dude, it don't work like that. And I'm not saying that all women, yeah, you may have some vindictive women. In the same way, you got some abusive men. But I'm talking to straight thinking people now. You all don't seem to connect that there's a direct connection between our heart and the other part of our anatomy that you all want access to. So keep that in mind when you start talking about making herself available to you and you treating the woman like crap day in and day out. And then she's supposed to just forget all of that. It don't work like that, fellas. So if you are a man who into woman, and I do say if, because some of you all really ain't into no woman. Y'all just marry her for convenience or to cover up, whatever. But if you genuinely are into women, I highly recommend that you court her. Court her not just when you want it, but court her in the same way you were chasing after her before you all were married. Chase after her after you're married. Give her a reason to want to be available to you. Stop trampling through the garden and then expecting that gate to be open to you all the time. It don't work like that. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello?
Madam,
Yes.
I think you switched on me.
I switched. I did not switch.
No. The question I asked, if you have all the qualities of a wife, that was the question we proposed. And the question is this. If you find out you make yourself available and your husband is not chasing after you, should you come suspicious or raise a red flag? That was the question. That's the question. Should you become suspicious? If you know you make yourself available as a woman and everything is fine, I'm not talking about no abuse now, I'm not talking about a positive, and he is not chasing after you, shouldn't you raise a red flag or become suspicious? That was the question.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's the question. Okay.
So you ain't got nothing to say about what I just say after that. Okay, then. All right. We can take a break here. Let's go to this break. I hear what you're saying, caller, about there being an attack on the family, and I agree with you. But I think that we gotta fulfill the book. I think that these are the Bible said all you gotta do is read Romans chapter 1, I believe it is. It talks about exactly what we see happening in the world today. Where men are not going to have a natural affection for women. Some men, where they will exchange their natural affection for the opposite sex to lust after, and unnatural. Yeah, the Bible tells you that. It all right in there. So we got to fulfill the book. And I'm not saying that we should just throw our hands up in there and say, oh, well, that's just the way it's going to be. And, but it is what it is. We got to fulfill the book. The book will be fulfilled. And that's a sign of the times in which we live. Meaning the end times, in my opinion. And I know we've been hearing it's the end times for hundreds of years. But boy, if you look around, we're closer to the end times than we've ever been in the history of mankind, based on what we see happening around the world today. So anyway, it's 2:30. We got to take our first break. Let's take this break, and then when we come back, we will play the clip from the women's group that is protesting against the act, and then the Prime Minister's response to that group, and then we can talk about it from there. This is GPS. Stay with us.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this. Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 hyperimmune egg powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires, cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
To stay healthy, it's crucial to make sure you get the nutrition you need every day. But it's difficult to get all your recommended vitamins and minerals from food alone. Even in the United States, 94% of people are deficient in at least one nutrient. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 by Longevity is a simple, convenient, and affordable way to help your body get the essential nutrients it needs. It's an advanced plant-driven multivitamin mineral complex that contains certified organic whole foods, trace minerals, and antioxidants. BTT 2.0 supports your body's natural defense system with a proprietary blend of energy-boosting and body-loving nutrients, plus prebiotics, probiotics, amino acids, and enzymes that support digestion. With an unusually high ORAC score of 8,000, you get even more antioxidants to help combat free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. But to get the most benefit and value from any multivitamin, your body must be able to break down the nutrients so you can fully absorb them. Otherwise, they'll just pass through your system without doing any good. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 was specially formulated with synergizing cofactors to ensure you get maximum nutrient absorption. Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 is the easiest way to give your body the balance and complete daily vitamin mineral supplement it needs for optimal support of your overall health. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
This portion of GPS is brought to you by Tiki Bikini Hut at Junkanoo Beach. Great food, cool tropical drinks, and family fun in the sun.
And we are back. Welcome back to GPS, Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm in your company on this TGIF Open Line show. How do you get to be a part of it? Well, that's easy. The numbers to call: 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages and calls is 8010271, 8010271. We're streaming live on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. We're also streaming live to our YouTube channels, and you can check us out on Cable Bahamas channel 974. You can also download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. And welcome to all of you listening by way of radio here in New Providence, Grand Bahama, throughout the family of islands. And a huge welcome to all of you who are tuned into GPS from outside the Bahamas, whether it's Canada, Europe, Africa, United States, wherever it is. Thank you so much for tuning in and making GPS a part of your afternoon routine. Okay, so every Friday around these parts, we call it a TGIF show, where we have an open line show, and you, our audience, get to help to direct the area of the show that we go to, the subject matter, because it's all about you and what you want to talk about on a Friday as we look at the week that was, or any other social ill that you want to talk about. So, our first caller was referring to an objection by women um, with regard to a new bill that has been introduced to the House of Assembly. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clip first and foremost with the women saying why they object to the bill, and then the Prime Minister's response to that objection. So here we go.
As parliamentarians debate the Protection Against Violence bill in the House of Assembly today, a group of women's rights activists object to the bill altogether, charging that this new piece of legislation throws 1 decade of effort down the drain. President of Women's United, Podesta Moore, labels this a slap in the face.
It's very disappointing to see that all of the work that was put in, all of these individuals, the Dr. Sandra Dean Patterson, the persons who really worked hard to make these recommendations that were put forward in the gender-based violence bill, and to say that you're going to put that aside now, toss that aside, and present a bill that's not the people's bill in Parliament, just to rush this through, I think it's it's a slap in the face. It's an insult to all of us. And I just want to publicly say that we reject it.
The group says the bill, which was tabled in May of this year, was replaced at the last minute and doesn't contain key provisions that would further help protect women and girls from violence.
The gender-based violence bill is exactly that. It speaks to gender-based violence. It is not just broad-based violence. So by way of the amendment, they no longer deal with the issue of gender-based violence.
That's Vice President of Women's United and former Senator Lisa Bostwick Dean, who adds most of the authority in the bill is vested in the minister, which diminishes the role of civil society groups.
Under the gender-based violence bill, there was a structure created by the creation of an authority and a commission. The role between the two of those entities was well thought out, with the result that there was a proper structure in place for public-private partnership. This is critical because the fact of the matter is that civic organizations and NGOs are perhaps best placed to answer all of the different elements of dealing with violence against women and children and men in those situations.
Bostwick Dean adds that this stance is extremely problematic, as we all know how things get bogged down in government.
We want to be able to be empowered and to have access for funding so that we can render the necessary services on the ground.
Now, the Prime Minister this morning questioned why this group waited until the eve of the debate to object the legislation, which was tabled months ago. To that, Moore and Bostwick say this.
I wasn't sure that this bill was a separate bill or this bill was actually replacing the gender-based violence bill. And at the last forum they had in the Ministry of Social Services, I had the question asked, is this a separate bill or this bill is now replacing the gender-based violence bill? So I didn't want to make comments or comment until I know for a fact that this was an actual bill that was actually replacing the gender-based violence bill.
We did not learn of today's debate until Monday. So we had, by our count, 3 days notice of today's debate. The government expects us to do in approximately 2 months that which it took 10 years to do. It is an unreasonable expectation.
The gender-based violence bill was first drafted under the Christie administration. It was also worked on quite extensively by the Minnis administration, according to Bostwick Dean.
Okay, So that is what the women's group, Women United, had to say with regard to why they are not happy with the way that this has been presented. And so in response, the Prime Minister is asking, why didn't you say something sooner? So let's go and hear what he has to say in this clip.
Why at this moment? You know, we are a government that listens. We take into account what it has to say. And we're not being dismissive. The bill has been out there even prior to me. And there have been, I can count the number of town hall meetings they would have had.
The outright rejection of the Protection of Persons bill taking Prime Minister Philip Davis by surprise, as he says there's been widespread public consultation on the bill, and he was of the view that all had agreed.
The amount of discussions they would have had, the prodding by the minister to these groups to say, come to provide your comments. And then at the moment when we were about to debate what we thought was an acceptable bill, that was signed off by a number of NGOs.
However, Women's Group in a statement said that the last-minute change from the gender-based violence bill to the Protection Against Persons bill did more harm than good and lacked provisions for the protection of women and girls.
And I think that's probably the problem, because they are not all on the same page. Well, until they get on the same page, well, I've listened to those. I'm listening to them.
May I say, she was at that session. I was there. No such objection was made. No such objection. I was right there. She even made questions. She said she gave questions. No objection raised. So don't come at that, man.
Opposition leader Michael Pintard argued that groups and fractions of the Parliamentary Women's Caucus did make their concerns known, resulting in a back and forth between the two.
The timeline is not this morning that this administration should have heard about the objection. The timeline predated the end of June. And secondly, what is being raised is that the bills are different. It is not just nomenclature, but it is the content of the bill. His characterization of no message having been sent to this government by any members of the Women's Caucus is false. Senator Michael Barnett Ellis claimed the Davis administration Protection Against Violence bill is less comprehensive than a previously drafted gender-based violence bill.
Social Services Minister Obi Wilshcombe also seeking to clarify.
All of these individuals seeking to get involvement, seeking to get response. We heard from one group, but I spoke off the record and on the record to some others. But one group wrote in.
But Prime Minister Davis said the groups were silent about their concerns until now. Nevertheless, the bill, while he says may not be perfect, is inclusive, and the Prime Minister says it will promote the protection of all.
You can say that the lawyers and drafters advise me, and I like to advise everyone, that this bill does in fact satisfy our obligations under international treaties, including the Treaty of CEDAW. That's what they told me. Right? And so it may not be perfect, but at the very least, if you had concerns, why wait on the day or the eve of our debating the bill to raise those concerns?
Okay, so one more clip as it relates to this, and that is, this is going to come from Wayne Monroe, who outlined the provisions of the bill. And I thought, after hearing what he had to say, that it was important to include that in this discussion. So here's the final clip on this, and then we can talk about it.
The bill is protecting against violence. And the bill defines what violence is. And it does it in these terms. And this can be found in the interpretation section 2. And it says, violence means violence of any sort that results in physical, sexual, or psychological violence, including rape, sexual abuse, torture, trafficking in person, forced prostitution, kidnapping, sexual harassment, online harassment, or economic or financial abuse that A, occurs within a domestic relationship, whether or not the offender share or shared the same household.
Mr. Monroe are saying is that this may not have some of the language that you wanted to have as it relates to specific gender, but it is drafted to cover everyone. And so that would mean that regardless of your gender, you're covered. This is the argument that's being put forth by the government. Wolverine says the bill does not protect women of the Bahamas. It just meets the minimum criteria for the treaty when it should be of the utmost and most comprehensive law to protect Bahamian women, not cover up and protect men from prosecution. Bertha says gender-based? Doesn't the bill cover everyone equally? Or am I missing something? What are your thoughts? I'd love to hear from you guys on this. And perhaps this might be something I can work on for the future as a future show to get a fuller understanding of both why certain women's groups are not happy with the bill, and on the opposing side, why those who drafted the bill believe that it meets the requirements of their concerns because it covers both male and female, that everybody is covered by what is being presented. I think it would be actually a good showing. I'll try working on that. All right, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Hi, Miss Malcolm. How you doing today?
I'm excellent. How are you?
Okay. Yeah, I listened to the whole explanation from all of them. And it covers even that for women that would have to go to court, that could not afford a lawyer, that the courts, that the government pay for them to get legal representation. That's something they never had before. And it covers everything, including safe houses for children, for everybody concerned. It was an all-inclusive bill. It was a bill that was comprehensive, and I don't know really. I think it's just that they wanted to specifically say marital rape and something else, but this bill covers everybody. People don't understand. There are men that get abused also, young men, young children. It just covers everything. And I don't know, in my opinion, this is political. Because not all of the groups, I heard the groups that signed off on it. There was a lot of groups that signed off on it. And what I noticed was, and this is why I say it's political, the African senators, they were all African women, Why is it under the last administration they didn't make all this noise and hullabaloo? Why wasn't it done? That's another thing. They had an opportunity to do this under the last administration, where very little was done. But now at least they have something to work with. And I like what the Prime Minister said. He said, we can always go back and make changes. He said, but if you wait on perfection, that's why this would take it so long, because you'll wait on perfection.
Right.
And the longer you wait trying to make this thing perfect, something ain't gonna be right. And they're going to keep on. But right now, you need protection now. You can always come back and make amendment, make adjustment. He said he's open to that, open to all discussions. And I think that should have been a point that they could have, worked out with that. But, this is, I know some of the faces in there. and I know what some of them stand for, and then you have the group with the LGBTQ group, and they all have an agenda, but that is political. That is very political in my opinion.
So you're saying that you think the reason why the timing is such is that they're trying to
It's
make
turning a
this
piece on the government. This was done to make the government look bad. Even look at
okay.
when Mr. Kingsley Ferguson, and you got to understand, some of those union leaders are strong F&Ms.
Right.
I mean, and Kingsley Ferguson, Billy Wilson, they're strong F&Ms. Anybody who's been in this town long enough and been following politics, and I've been around long. You know who is who in this country and what they stand for. They're trying to turn the heat upon the government, to pressure the government. Their job is to make the government look bad, become unpopular, because they want to get back into power.
Mm-hmm.
I heard the Prime Minister say something. I was listening, and he said that. He said one of his colleagues, the Prime Minister from one of the Caribbean nations, told him the job of the opposition, because I think the Prime Minister is really just trying to, and I think he have a lot on the opposition. He got to expose. People wonder why he's feeding, but he don't want to hurt people, and that's the thing. He was trying to make a change in how they govern, so it don't be a lot of attacks and destruction of people's lives. And so at times, just to quiet them down, he drip feed to say, "Listen, man, if you attack me, I got this on you, so quiet down. I let you be, so quiet down." That's what I'm saying. But he said the job of the opposition is to oppose, expose, and then depose because they want your seat. And that's just what's happening now. Some of the issues that come up are not real issues. A lot of them are based on speculation, but the opposition job is to make a stink of it. This is how they've always won elections. They won elections. And 92 Pinland said there was a lot of lies that were floating around. It happened with Christie, a lot of lies. And it happened with Davis in 2017 when Christie was deposed because they were saying he stole 40 billion of VAT money and some other lies. And then when they came into power, they said, we found the VAT money. It was right there all the time in the consolidated fund. They raised a big ruckus at the Sydney Poitier Bridge. They were there, Dr. Willis and others. There's some of the same faces. They were there. But then after Sydney Poitier died and everything, they were saying how they were so supportive and they acted like they were on the side of the Sydney Poitier, the government doing whatever, and tried to take credit, saying that they were the ones that named the bridge after. It was just funny how politics is. It's a dirty business. And if you realize those female senators, they were in position to get their government to push this issue through for what they wanted. Why wasn't it done then? And then why wait till now? I listened to one or two of the meetings that they had. They could have raised the issue. They were right there. But I guess it is what it is. Thank you, Ms. Monica.
Thank you so much for calling. Thank you for calling. All right, so I have a comment on Facebook from Quentin. Quentin says the PM could have gone back to the women who are now voicing their dissatisfaction and disagreements and try their best to revise the bill. It's not political. Sides are voicing their opinions on the bill. All right. Very interesting indeed. I do agree that there are times when people try to use issues as a political football. I don't know if I can say that is the case here. I do believe that the lines of communication had been open for a very long time, so I don't know where the breakdown occurred, because you can't accuse the government in this instance of not being welcoming to all voices on the matter. So where the breakdown occurred, I am not sure. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS. Hello, caller, you're on the air.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. Michelle, I watched the story and I listened, and I think it's a good start.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to get this done because there are too many persons out there who are suffering, you know. And I listened to Minister of State Lisa Raming some of her presentation yesterday, and it was so good to hear the passion in her voice, especially when she called off all of the persons that were murdered in these domestic abuse cases. All those persons who died, she riddled off every name since I think it was 2018 up until 2023. And, you know, she made the statement, you know, we can't wait, you know, we must do this. You can't keep, you know, stalling, or wasting time. We need to get this done now.
Right.
And the good thing, I think, I was happy to hear when the Prime Minister mentioned that we can always come back and, you know, add on or, you know, amend it.
Yeah.
But this needs to get, and even include, I think, other safe houses. And we need the women, they said a shelter for men and women and children, which is important. I think that's key. And I feel as if, I think Raming and Mr. Wilshcombe, I think their heart is in the right place. And I think it's a good start. And I think with the organizations, the women's groups, who are dissatisfied or not happy about this, not being inclusive with everything that they wanted in the original draft or whatever, continue to agitate, continue to work with them to get what you need on that. And just one more question before I go. I'm going to put it out there. Is it that the marital rape issue wasn't dealt with, included in this bill? And are there any issues with the LGBTQA or whatever community involved in this bill as well?
I don't know about their involvement in it, but I think a part of the issue that the women's group has is it did not include language as it relates to marital rape.
The marital rape issue, right? So that I think that might be the main issue. But like I said, you can always continue to agitate and you know, don't give up the fight. Just continue to, you know, work along with them and try and get most of the things that you really want. But the main thing is that it's a good start. You have something. You have everything. It has teeth now. So, you know, let's just be happy about that. So these are something. Good night. Thanks, Michelle. Have a good weekend.
Thank you for calling. We have another call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, Lady Malcolm. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I am all right. I just can't wrap around my head why these groups don't just read the Constitution and read the law. Because everything involving criminal activity and marital abuse, sexual abuse, and rape and all them things aren't already on the books, Lady Malcolm. I don't understand. Even if they change the word to marital rape, there's still procedures they got to go through with the courts. Because if you haul a rape, anybody who hauls rape today, whether they married or not, you still got to call the police and go to the court. So I don't know what that's exactly what the problem is. But see, what they got to understand, people like Dr. Menace and Philip Brave Davis, they're not effeminate men. Brave Davis is pretty crazy. I play like here, I can't remember nothing. But Brave Davis is a solid married man. So is Dr. Hubert Menace. You know, effeminate or no special interest group could get their men to talk about no marital rape. It's very difficult to prove marital rape. It's very difficult to prove any of those things in a marriage where two people are married and cohabitating. That's the right word, cohabitating, right?
I know what you're trying to say.
It's very, very difficult, Lady Malcolm. Besides, Brave Davis is a Casey. He knows that the Sexual Offences Act covers the spouse. Article 15, it says if you find that your marriage is turning toxic, go to the court and get a restraining order. The Act also says if you don't have something in terms of a court procedure involved, you can't get no You can't get no satisfaction. That's what the act say. It says you must come to the court. So I don't know what their problem is. I really don't know.
Okay.
And as far as I think you was talking about, Brother P. I know why Brother P takes all that time calling the show with something he can answer. Is sense. Obviously, if somebody ain't interested in you and you could see these signs inside your marriage, whether it's the man or the woman, of course, red flags, Brother P, you had to call Lady Malcolm to ask that. You could answer that question yourself. Something wrong. It doesn't like Lady Malcolm say there are several factors maybe. Find out what it is, maybe causing it. Yeah, I call because that's something simple as that, man. Anyway, Lady Malcolm, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you so much for calling. We got to take a break. On the other side of the break, let's continue with the TGIF Open Line. So if you want to continue talking about this issue, we can, but I have prepared some clips to take the show in another direction as well. So whatever you guys want to do, that's what we'll do. But we got to take this break because I got to, honor my sponsors. So let's go to the break, and then when we come back, we'll continue with this TGIF Open Line show on this beautiful Friday afternoon. We'll be back after these words from our sponsors.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
Your body's immune system is under constant pressure from things like stress, lack of exercise, and toxins in the environment. It's crucial to be proactive and support your immune system with the nutrients it needs to function effectively. But it's often hard to get these nutrients from food alone. Introducing fast-acting Zinc Plus Immune Support by Longevity. Unlike zinc-only supplements, Zinc Plus Immune Support builds on the proven power of zinc and adds complementary nutrients to give your immune system extra support. Vitamin D helps balance the effects of zinc, while our proprietary blend of natural fruit and root extracts provides the extra help your immune system needs to work against daily stressors. And we've included Longevity's exclusive plant-derived minerals to give your body the minerals it needs, but can't get from food alone. And because Zinc Plus Immune Support is delivered in a great-tasting, sugar-free, berry-flavored lozenge, it encourages quicker absorption of all these nutrients into your body. Zinc Plus Immune Support. Zinc plus the extra support your body needs to promote a healthy immune system. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
Welcome to Sunshine Auto, the hardest place on the planet for rims, paints, and tires.
We are your auto superstore for rims, Lexani, Azaras, Trueform, Western, Lux, Fuel, Trackline, Tough, Rough Racing, Velocity, Mud, All-Terrain, and low-profile tires. Cars, homes, and commercial window tinting. At Sunshine Auto, we put God first and customer is king.
Blessed love.
It's gotten harder and harder to get your daily requirement of vital nutrients from food alone. Without additional vitamin and nutrient support, your health and well-being can suffer drastically. That's why Z-Radical was specifically formulated. It combines a blend of antioxidant-rich vitamins, minerals, and botanicals with the protective powers of fucoidan to help fill the gaps from lack of nutrients in your foods. The core of Z-Radical is fucoidan, a naturally occurring polysaccharide that helps stimulate immune reaction, protecting you against inflammation and oxidative stress. We harvest this powerful mineral-rich nutrient from brown seaweed, harvested only from the world's most pristine ocean waters to ensure the purest quality. It's then extracted using cold process technology to ensure maximum levels of bioavailability. Then we add essential vitamins that help to protect your cardiovascular and nervous systems and are crucial for optimal immune and neurological function. Z-Radical also includes a proprietary blend of delicious antioxidant-rich fruits and berries. This great-tasting combination helps your body combat free radical imbalances that can contribute to a variety of degenerative conditions like arthritis and heart disease. Z-Radical. Experience the power of fucoidan with antioxidant-rich berries, 8 essential vitamins, and more to provide you with potent health benefits. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM. Michelle Malcolm here in your company on this TGIF Open Line Friday. The numbers to call 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272, or you can call us or text us via WhatsApp at 801-0271. 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and the Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also find us on YouTube live, and you can watch us on Cable Bahamas channel 974. You can download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out anytime there. And of course, last but not least, radio. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're from Grand Bahama, if you're from the Family Islands, if you're from New Providence, wherever you are tuned in outside the country, thank you for being a part of GPS. Okay, I'm going to read a couple of your text messages, and then we're going to see where we go from there. So this one is coming in from our WhatsApp line. It says, if this bill was the original bill for gender-based violence tabled over 10 years, why wouldn't they have consulted with women's groups in the first place? Wouldn't it make sense that the very groups that table the bill have a seat at the decision-making table? Yes, everyone is subject to violence, but when will they see women should have a say in matters that directly involve them? If it's a matter that affects you, should you not be consulted to see that your needs and concerns are met? I think we still just live in a society where it is felt that women should be seen and not heard. But they did have consultation meetings. I'm not sure how you missed that, Texter. The point is they did consult with the various women's groups. And the Prime Minister's argument was that there was ample time within those meetings for them to raise these concerns. So why now? Why wait until right to the point where we're about to table this thing and debate this thing that you are now raising these concerns? On the other side, the women are saying, but this is not the same thing that we discussed. This is not reflective, let me put it that way, of everything that we discussed. But it's not that consultation was not done. There was widespread consultation with regard to the bill. Another text message coming in by way of WhatsApp says, I don't believe a marital bill is needed. A bill is only as good as it is enforced, and I don't believe the ones they have now are enforced as much as they should be. What needs to happen is for any issue with domestic violence, let me read that again. What needs to happen is for any issue with domestic violence needs to be taken seriously, and resources has to be given to the victims. Okay? Those are two messages coming in by way of WhatsApp. I believe we have a couple of comments that have been placed on Facebook pages as well. Let's see. Trevor is asking, do I have any idea of what are some of the things that the women's groups thought should be in that bill that isn't there? I believe a part of it is the language as it relates to marital rape is a part of it, but I thought that they pretty much explained that during the clip that we played earlier. Okay, we have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Good afternoon, good decent Michelle Malcolm. How you doing?
I'm excellent. How are you?
I guess I'm doing all right. But you do my bad on Monday, the boy you beat my bad Monday. You call me stupid and all. They play Michelle dangerous play.
Did I call you stupid?
Yeah, man. Say when you're stupid, it's better if you stay quiet, be quiet, being and you're stupid. I say
well,
sorry.
Let me put it this way. I ain't call your name. So if you throw rock at a crowd, the one who yell is the one who get licked.
Man, you look me hard, but I said Michelle dangerous in the last
So
minute.
if you holler,
sorry, but I ain't sorry. I said this woman dangerous, eh?
If you holler from that general statement, then the rock must hit you. I ain't call nobody name.
Man, you know, you like me in the rock, man. You should have hold on me. I holler. I say, wait, Mr. Davis.
Anyhow, what you saying?
You're stupid. You keep your mouth shut. You know, you're stupid. I say, wait, Mr. You dangerous.
You know it's all done in love.
I think you're waiting that 96.9 station too long, you know, because that's why they call people stupid too.
Oh.
You know what I talking about? Is be a 3 or 4 hour show, like you know what he talking about. You've been around them a little long. They call the public stupid. And that ain't cool.
I know you're talking about.
I talking about the one early in the morning who ain't sure about this. I was talking about Marital Reed. No longer than this morning talking about Marital Reed, like you're interested in woman.
Oh. Okay. I ain't going there.
I ain't going there.
But again, I ain't call nobody name. So if you throw up in the crowd, whoever get hit with the rock you throw in the crowd is the one. I was just speaking generally, but go ahead. What you saying?
I was saying I didn't going to call you no more, but only because you good like that, they call you back.
Okay, so since you take it personal, I apologize.
Man, the apology I accept that you say you're sorry and you ain't sorry. That's too paradox. Because I can let it ride right there.
All right. So what you want to say today?
How you doing the day after a rainy day yesterday? Did you get stormed out?
I'm happy for the rain that helped to cool things down a little bit. Say that.
Sunday? But you don't see the rain is just raining and like we live in London or something.
No.
You know that?
No, because we do have a thing called a rainy season here in the Bahamas, so this ain't nothing new for us.
Flat out like that?
Well, in certain areas it always floods out. No matter how much rain you have, it seems they get flooding in certain areas.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's just poor planning, you know. And basically, I mean, then you can just, I guess, cut down all the hills, closing all the swamp land.
That's a part of it. That's a part of it for sure.
And then build these places too low, such as Bay Street. Bay Street, you realize Bay Street from I say from Elizabeth Avenue, the right straight almost to the bridge. All that needed left up a leap but 2 feet, you know. Because what's happening in that area, the sewer lines that come from Sheraton and come from Paradise Island, because the people of PI want to spell their money. I mean the sewer, right? And what happening is because the water level rise, the sewer water and that's running below, like if you drove on Bay Street, you see a lot of bubbling happening, and the actual sewer water is mixed with the water. And
you can actually smell it in some areas. You could smell it like near the bridge. You can smell it for sure.
No, I'm talking about before you even get to the bridge. Right in front of PNT, the National Trust. The pipes in front of it, all in front of it, before you reach there. Those the big name 3 foot or 2, whatever big those pipes are on the ground. Like the sewer goes in there, and you have a little air in there that all sewer systems need air to operate, right? But the air was in it because of the water levels is so high. All the air coming out and all the water was in the sewer. All that is out because when you drive, hello.
I'm listening.
Hello. Yeah. If you're driving in there right now, all you smell is sewer. I'm not talking about from the sewer plant that's by the bridge. I'm talking about before that because when you reach by the bridge, it's a different story. That's a new stink.
Okay.
You know, I mean, something has to be done with that because people be walking through that. I mean, I witness Bahamians and tourists walking through that stuff. I mean, they ain't going to walk through no kind of nanny water, you know. They ain't good. That ain't cool. And I don't think it's cool to even drive through it. But then people driving through it because I guess the only way you can get through is to go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Michelle. But yeah, I ain't finished yet, man. Well, you're ready to go already. No,
I listening. Go ahead, make your point.
Dr. P asked you, Michelle, you can never get married in this life, eh?
I can't say that. I don't know what God has planned for me. If God sends the right person.
You get rowdy in the old days.
I was always rowdy. I was always rowdy.
Nobody, Michelle, nobody. You wasn't always rowdy. When you, in the 70s and 80s, you was one little peaceful little girl, one little slim little gal and thing. Look, you scared of everything, right?
You clearly didn't know.
Look here. If a monster come to you at night, the monster can
You clearly didn't know me. I have mellowed. You clearly didn't know me. I've mellowed.
Michelle, you serious? Not now, though.
Yeah.
Michelle, you easy to get take off, right? I see that with you.
Trust me, God will wake on me. I've come a long way. The Lord really been waking on me. I've come a long way.
Yeah, but Michelle, you could so find somebody. You could so find somebody, and I mean, like a good man and everything, like Dr. P. always talk about. What do you talk about? What kind of man do you talk about?
Alpha male.
A good bull man, eh? You say bull man too, eh? Yeah. You find a good bull, right? I mean VOWE as in the last name, right? But a bull man, a real man, right? Michelle, you ain't around him and everything, eh? Michelle, you ain't around me.
I can't promise that if he do stupid, he can get around.
Michelle, you can't around, man. You too sweet to around, man. You getting old now, you know. You can't really know it.
Why watch your mouth? Why only clothes get old?
I mean, and you, I just saying, I mean, the way the words before they. I mean,
I'm not getting old. I'm like fine wine. I'm getting better with time.
Michelle, it's the time to get married, you know. But don't marry JT because he's called.
Let me ask you something. Why do y'all? I mean, why does society? I ain't gonna say you because you're gonna say I row and you. Why does society believe that in order for a woman to have value, she have to be married? Why? Why is that?
Do that back again.
If you met a single man, my age, you ain't gonna never be saying to him, man, why you ain't married yet, man? You gotta get married. Nice looking man like you. Why you ain't married yet? You will just say, well, you know, you living his life. So
why are you telling me that? Huh? Why are you telling me that? Why are you telling me that? If I meet a man, I can tell him why you get married.
Oh my God, you're missing the point. As always, you are missing the point. My point is the same amount of pressure you all put on women, you do not put on men. And I trying to figure out why you all believe that my life is not full. Now, if the Lord wills, and He sends me a good, decent man that I, you know, we're equally yoked and all that good stuff, then I am not ruling it out. But I don't know why you all think I lose in sleep because that has not yet happened in my life. Why does society put so much pressure on women as if your life can't be complete unless you marry? And the truth be told,
your life can be complete. You don't have to be married to no one. But Michelle,
okay, I just making sure.
But be positive, right? You say if the Lord send me a good man, then a man. But Michelle, of course, you just get a good man sent from the all instead of the Lord. Would you accept that man?
Sent from what?
From the all, the everything that you could imagine that is God and all that you can't imagine is God, that still is God.
I don't understand what you're saying.
What I'm saying to you is all that you could imagine is God and all that you can't imagine is God. All is still God. For all you know is God and all that you don't know is God. God is not known. You know that, right? Because all the things you know, you still know enough. Hello?
No, so there's always layers of God that you don't fully understand. But always, okay, fine. But to say God is not known?
Michelle, do you think a man understands what God is or whatever it is, that energy?
I think that he should seek to always know more, that we will never know in his entirety. I think it's just too big for us to comprehend God in his entirety. But that's not to say that you don't seek knowledge or seek a relationship with, or I don't get your point.
No, my point is
that's like saying, okay, since we talk about marriage, that's like saying you marry someone, right? But you think you know all about that person just because you married them? No, there's some things you're going to discover about that person as time goes on. It's a discovery of who that person is in their entirety. You may never fully understand them. So to say that you can't know God, I think that's a foolish.
Michelle, when it comes to knowing people, especially like to say humans, right? I think you know your dog or a cat better than a human because a human will lie to you. A human will tell you just the total opposite, and you can see what it is. You know, that's the problem because I mean, like, if we as humans could be like more truthful with each other for what it is, all kinds of things could work, you know. Because when people want to be deceitful and want to just be, well, they fine, look good, just and that, but full of lies, you ain't no good to nobody. Am I wrong?
So what's the point you're making?
No, what I'm saying is the outward, people are more focused on the outward, how they look, all right? While on the inward, they connive, they cheat, they rob, they steal, they kill, whatever. And it's all right because on the outward, they appear to be decent people. They're well attired and always polished look and, have that look on their face. But then on the inward, the person needs to be trusted. Why in this world, like we live in this life, right? Simple things like honesty. Humans can't do that, will not do that. Other creatures do it. We don't trust nothing. Other creatures do. We need books for everything. Other creatures don't. We feel like we know everything. We don't. Some creatures know more than us. You realize that? You realize they know how to find their food, build their house, and do everything, find their water, run the light so they can still move around without light. You listen to the point, you realize that? Hello?
I listen.
Or you feel like we be above something else? We live in this life, we live in this fool life, because they tell us, like, oh, we're the best, we ain't nothing by it. Because we're the best and whatever, we'll be able to govern ourselves accordingly without a government. Because all of us will know that you don't do this, you don't do that. That's why we're in this quagmire of just people governing and lording and policing and this and that because of the lying, the cheating and everything. And the whole system is built that way, right? But if we like every other creature ain't got this foolishness, laws, Bible, books, and all this indoctrination. These creatures, from the time when they born, their elders, they hand them the truth. And they live in the truth. They ain't need no radio. They ain't need no GPS or nothing. Because they connected. Only us are disconnected. Hello? Am I talking foolishness today? Hello?
In some ways, what you're saying is true. And in some ways, what you're saying, in my view, is foolishness. Because those creatures don't have something very important that we have. And that
what is so important, Michelle?
What?
What do we have so important that the creatures don't have?
We have a will. We have the ability to do more than just exist, but to think and to create and to build. And I just want to say that not every human being is what you just described. There are definitely some who are.
The majority.
There are definitely some who are, but there are also some good people in the world. There are also some people who are good
I didn't say all, the majority of people are. Hey, but let me say something. You talk about all the creation man do, right? Let me say all the creation, right? So every creation is destructive today. Because most of the stuff that man make is toxic. You put it back in the oil and poison generations to come. And you call that, that ain't smart. The creatures them deal at organic straight through. All right? And for whatever they do, it goes in the cycle and the cycle is complete. What man do is destructive.
Not everything that mankind has done is destructive. Some of it is, yes.
The majority of things men do are destructive. For the things that are tangible, man got destruction. For the
let me put it this way. They say there's two sets of people in the world. You get a glass of water and you half fill it. And some people will look at that and say the glass of water is half empty. And some will look at it and say the glass is half full. So your approach to life is it's very much according to how your way of thinking. Some people will look at the same circumstances and see the positive. Others will look at it and see the negative. It's all about you and how you see the world, which impacts the way the world responds to you.
Hey, but let me tell you something with deep, right? You see the direction I tell you from things from the creature aspect of the human, right? You see, most of the time, human beings, like in general, right, don't have enough time to spend to themselves, even the knowledge, the other creatures that are around. Example, ants and microorganisms and stuff. See, when you get to see how they operate and see what's going on with that, when you look at the macrocosm, like you say, this human race and this and that, when you're looking at it, and humans, for all the books and education they give us, we be doing bad, man. You're doing bad. Be doing bad because if we be doing good, why do you keep buying more police cars? Why do you keep opening up more courthouse? Why building bigger jail? You see, that's the thing right there. Because we can't exist together. That's the problem. We can't even be honest to each other. Imagine if all of us just honest and see what it is. Everyone just be honest and say what it is. No matter the consequences, speak truth. You know, probably may die, but you know what? For those who died, for the ones who would live, everyone will be respectful to each other, guaranteed. Because you know what? We look at these lies and deception as a big, big deal. We don't look at it like that today. You know, it's sexy to lie and cheat. Huh? So that's what we live in. Human beings, we can do better, man, because all this education we got and things, we can't live together, right? We can't even, right now, I talk about agenda, but all like about to say about abuse of women. And, you know what? Abuse of anybody, man. Nobody better than nobody, man. You don't need that. Because when one was die or bleed, you know, it's a life. No life better than the other life. No part of nobody is better than no one whole life. And that's what it looked like it's turning into because of the feminist organizations in this country or groupings in this country. Like, well, they want to put like to say rape or sex on the parallel of someone killing somebody, taking someone's life. And ain't no sex organ is better than no one whole life. Am I wrong?
So you believe? Let me ask you a question. You believe then that rape is only about harming a particular part of the body? Is that what you believe?
No, what I'm saying to you is, right? Rape, you is mental, it's physical, it's everything, right? What I'm saying to you is, right? After someone get raped, if someone didn't get murder, all the murders gone down. The ones who are worrying about a woman who just get raped. What about the women who got just murdered? What about the men who got murdered, being murdered all the time? These people don't open their mouth. They remind me of the animal rights people. They don't worry about
the women's rights group are speaking out for murdered victims. They're speaking out for rape victims. They ain't only speaking out. Come on, man. Come on. See,
they put these other things in their bag to try and make it look like they're looking up for something. They ain't looking up for nobody else but themselves. You ain't worrying about any baby boy. They worrying about the baby girls.
That's
put
not true.
Boys in the equation.
They have said women and children.
Yeah, children. When the
you
boys get
have your particular bias because of whatever you've been through in your childhood.
No, Michelle, let's keep it real. I just keep it real.
I keep it real. You're the one who ain't keeping it real.
Michelle, what you mean? Let's keep it real. Because guess what? It ain't no way one better than the other. Woman ain't better than man, and man ain't better than woman. Ain't no part of no man better than no life. Ain't no part of no woman better than no life. And that's the point. You can't, because someone get raped, it ain't akin to being murdered. You got it wrong. Rape is bad, but murder is the ultimate worst. See how could you classify the two? And these people just come jumping out when they just, rape. You know what? They got problem. And chances are, one day something, whatever marriage they in, they controlling that. They man can't even touch them or look at them. I'll guarantee you that. They need to be married, that's all, Michelle. That's all it is. It ain't hard to not be married, you know. You go get, cut your cost $1,000. You've been married before, Ms. Michelle.
So, you think that it doesn't...
Hello?
Oh, I'm trying to carefully choose my words.
Why you choosing your words, Mama Michelle, man?
No, because the next thing you know is you can say, I call you stupid.
No, man, you already call me stupid. I accept that. You say I call you back, and I promise not to call you no more. I must still love you for true.
So you have someone who decides to rape a child. There's plenty of that going on. An innocent child.
Yeah.
An innocent child who you can't blame the child for the person raping them, because y'all like to blame the victim, or we like to blame the victim.
Y'all. When you say y'all, who you mean it? You say y'all.
Many people in the general population. I was driving yesterday listening to a show, and the host of that show was saying, well, you know, plenty rape on going on, but y'all women, y'all should know better than to catch a ride with somebody, or y'all should know better than to do this, or y'all should know better than to do that. And I'm thinking to myself, at what point are you going to speak to the persons who are perpetrating this violent acts against people? Why is it always the fault of the victim? So let's go back to the child. Some demon decides to rape a child. You think that's only a physical scar that child is going to carry for the rest of their life?
No, that's mental and on everything. Because
You don't
they'll
see
never
how that
forget
can
that.
destroy that person's life?
Yeah, it definitely would.
Okay then.
That ain't marital rape. That's grown woman. I ain't been talking about children. Grown woman, them who they don't want no man to touch them. They want to be ruling the man. They want to get everything from the man. And if the man touch them, they all are rape. That's what playing them into. No, you can say no, they ain't into that. You ain't no man, you ain't no Michelle.
You have a blessed day.
Hello.
Have a blessed
Michelle,
day.
you gone? Michelle, you gone? Why you going? Michelle, you gone?
I gotta take a break.
All right. Have a nice weekend, Michelle Malcolm.
You too. Okay. Let's take this break. When we come back, we're gonna continue with this TGIF Open Line show, where you guys helped to direct the narrative of the show. And it is open line, so I got to give everybody their opportunity to speak their mind. That's what open line is all about. I necessarily gotta agree with you, but you could speak your mind. So that's what it's about. We're gonna take this break. When we come back, we're gonna continue with our show. Stay with us. This is GPS.
Global Paradigm Shift will return after this.
At Lee Air, safety is our #1 priority. Flying since 1996, we offer scheduled flights into Fresh Creek and Mangrove Key Andros and Great Harbor Key, Berry Island, twice daily, 7 days a week. Affordable charter services are also available to anywhere in the Bahamas and the Caribbean. Lee Air Charter Services. Call 225-3267, 702-7127, or 322-1317 for reservations.
Understanding your microbiome, also known as your gut ecosystem, can change everything you thought you knew about nutrition, digestion, immunity, and metabolism. Keeping your gut ecosystem healthy and balanced is essential. Ultimate Microbiome by Longevity was specifically formulated to optimize this ecosystem. It provides the advanced support your gut needs through prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic supplementation. Our unique blend of probiotics includes Lactobacillus and Plantarum, healthy bacteria that can help prevent harmful bacteria from taking over your gut. Increasing your gut's population of beneficial bacteria creates a more balanced gut microbiome, which has been shown to aid in weight loss, skin health, sleep, mood, and may even help with seasonal allergies. Ultimate Microbiome also promotes the production of postbiotics. Postbiotics are key to help regulate your gastrointestinal health. To enhance digestion, Digizyme Multi-Enzyme Complex, a blend of 5 specific enzymes, has been added to Ultimate Microbiome. It can help break down food so your body can better absorb nutrients. Plus, we've added our proprietary I-26 Hyperimmune Egg Powder to aid in the elimination of disease-causing gut bacteria and help your body balance its immune response. Ultimate Microbiome, the scientific, proprietary, and holistic approach to gut health that helps optimize your body's entire gut ecosystem. To learn more, contact your Longevity associate.
For all your building needs, it's Carib Construction and Project Management on Gladstone Road. We build it all: schools, homes, hotels, and more, including structures requiring a Phase 3 electrical contractor. We also provide project management services. The first step towards your dream building begins at Carib Construction and Project Management. Call us at 376-1556 or 341-4466.
One of the things I love about the mailboat is their relationship with Bahamas Air. I can earn travel points on my international freight and redeem them when I fly.
For me, online shopping is easy with Mailboat's U.S. addresses and regular freight delivery to Nassau. Plus, I can always prepay customs and freight, and they always notify me when my package arrives.
Yeah, a lot of people think the Mailboat is just for shipping, but they also offer a safe and secure storage facility at affordable rates, all in a central, convenient location.
We also offer passenger service into Freeport multiple times per week
with a seating capacity of over 450 persons. With family movies on large screens, one hot meal included, and on-board lounge for snacks and soft drinks. We're the Mailboat. We're bridging people, products, and places.
Executive Printers is your one-stop shop for all your branding and customization needs. Letterheads, envelopes, business cards, invoices, share and gift certificates, rubber stamps, vouchers, funeral programs, brochures, flyers, banners, and promotional items like mugs, water bottles, mouse pads, and key rings, all with personable service and great quality. No project is too small or too large. For great turnaround and competitive pricing, make an executive decision. Call us at 393-5011.
And welcome back to GPS Global Paradigm Shift on Global 99.5 FM on this TGIF Open Line show. The numbers to call are 3260271, 3260271, 3260272, 3260272. The WhatsApp line for messages or calls is 801-0271. 801-0271. We are streaming live on Facebook on the official Michelle Malcolm and Global 99.5 FM pages. You can also find us live on our YouTube channels or on Cable Bahamas, channel 974. Download the Global 99.5 FM app to your smart device and check us out there. Or you can listen by way of radio. And a huge welcome to you all, whether you are listening out of New Providence or Grand Bahama, the Family Islands, or from around the world. Thank you so much for tuning in today for this open line show. So Lisa's asking, is this Let Anyone Talk Friday? Unfortunately, yes, Lisa. That's why it's called an open line show, where we allow everybody to call in and, give their opinion, help to direct the show. Leslie says, time to stop. Tell me, cut them. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. We have 2 callers on hold. Caller, welcome to GPS. Please turn down your radio or whatever you're listening to us on. But go ahead, you're on the air.
Hello?
Hi, you're on the air.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead and speak, please.
Good afternoon, Ms. Malcolm.
Yes.
You have all the patience that Job had. You will continue to have.
I try it, child. I try it.
But just let me say this quickly. I don't call. I listen often. First of all, I think callers have the right to, like you say, it's open line. But I think when it comes to personal matters, such as your marriage status and why you're not, I think that's a bit too personal for people to be asking questions. You happen to elevate yourself in life when you build yourself to what you want to be or what hope to be, and then you can't find that person to compliment you. So what you do, just get anybody?
Michelle ain't gonna do that. I ain't know about the rest of y'all.
Well, I wouldn't speak. So my point is, he made some sense in the end. But it was long-winded and a bit too personal for my liking. But I'll continue to listen. Just have a wonderful afternoon and weekend.
Thank you. Thank you so much. The same to you. Thanks for calling. Thanks for being a part of the show. Listen, I'm one of them who got to be married just to say my husband and then catching hell. No, that's why I never get married. I want you to think that I was not proposed to, because I was on more than one occasion. But when you don't see these red flags before you get married, if you go put yourself in that, then that on you, then you're catching hell. And I value my happiness too much. And I'm not saying that you don't have to sacrifice within marriage or compromise. I'm sure you do. But no, I'm not going to sacrifice my happiness just to say my husband and then I catch in hell behind closed doors. So if I got to wait, and they say good things come to those who wait, my package could be beyond good. Because I waited for a long time. But when I say wait, I don't mean sitting up crying every night because it ain't happened. No, Michelle has lived a wonderful life and will continue to do so. I believe my best days are still ahead of me, in spite of not saying my husband, because I know plenty who back in the day who would say, "Girl, Michelle, one day you'll get a husband." They don't get divorced. Catch all got to hell before they get divorced. And I'm like, okay, but stop what I'm supposed to be aspiring to. And I'm not saying all marriages are bad marriages. You have some wonderful marriages out there. Whenever it happened for me, it'll be wonderful. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GBS.
Yes, Miss Malcolm.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, if I would have grade the Prime Minister this government today, I would give them a B plus.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some good things. I see they're doing some good things. And some things, they're falling down badly. And when I hear the Prime Minister tell the former Prime Minister in House of Assembly, he get the books, but he don't like to look back, and he get the books, and he could say to his generation what came in and wasn't working and all of that. I was saying this from day one. This government get the books and the record on everything, but if they mean to do some things to hold the former government accountable, they could do it. But because they don't want to do it, and when the former government now stand up and call out them the wrong things, what they weren't doing, they get upset, and then they won't look back and stuff like that and say, oh, you all did this and you all did that. Mr. Prime Minister is drip feeding us. First he tell us about the $1 million of the central bank. Then he tell us about the NGO. Then we hear about this $1 million in Abaco. Then we hear about the generator in Abaco. We hear about all of these things, but we ain't seen nobody come yet before the court. See, we didn't ask him. He told us when he was campaigning, he was not going to be like the former prime minister. And this prime minister is walking that same road. He's going down that same road, but some of his ministers, they better be careful. Just do their job, because they don't want to go down like how the former government went down and stuff like that. The this prime minister, he got North Abaco to deal with the MP and call it what it is, make some tough decisions. He get Minister Immigration, deal with it, make some tough decisions, because the Minister of Immigration say, oh, the Deputy Prime Minister tell me to do this. The Deputy Prime Minister say, no, he ain't me. I ain't say nothing. So, who say who? The Prime Minister has to deal with these things, because why? The people them are watching and they listening, and we gonna wait till they hear what the Prime Minister has to say, But don't let it be long like that former.
Okay, caller, I don't know what's going on with your line. We'll be getting some serious static.
Yeah. Okay then.
All right, thanks for calling. I think I understand the gist of what you're saying. That the Prime Minister needs to be seen to be acting on these issues as opposed to not. And I agree with you on that. Because perception is more powerful than reality in most cases. And the more that comes out, and there's been more that's been coming out with alleged acts of unorthodox behavior by the Minister of Immigration in particular. And political opponents have been slowly revealing these leaks. And the more it comes out, the worse this looks. And I agree with the caller. Some tough decisions have to be made, because it's not looking or smelling very good. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
How you doing, Miss Malcolm?
Good. How are you today?
I'm all right. I almost called you Michelle. That's what they got you started on now.
Okay.
You're doing a good job and keep up the good work. But I
Thank you.
really called to talk to say on previous caller, not the one that just called in.
Mm-hmm.
Me is speaking on behalf of all the Bahamian men, though, because me, as far as I can say,
I know.
rape, we here to protect women and children as men.
Mm-hmm.
Rape called for the same, excuse my language, execution, just like, because we talking about black men killing each other on the streets here or wherever it's happening. But rape is no excuse for that. There's no way around it. No way around it. No, and I'm glad when you hit the spot when you talk about the kids. How you see you have to fall back. That's the same thing, bro. How you gonna rape a woman? You came from a woman, and that's all I got to say. But he don't speak for all Bahamian men.
Oh, I know. Thank you so much for calling and saying that. But I realize that he's coming from a place of bias of his own experience, whatever that may be, as we all do. So I don't for 1 second believe that he's speaking for all Bahamian men. So trust me, I don't believe that, and I know that not to be the case. All right, so let's see. We've got 14 minutes left in the show. Let's look at some other stuff that went down this week. So yeah, we all know that the big story this week, one of the big stories this week, was this whole continuing saga with regard to the Minister of Immigration. And it seems that it's like an onion. The more you peel back, there's another layer to peel back again, then another layer to peel back. It's just never ending. Because like I say, the political opponents of the current administration, they've been dropping little leaks here and there, leak after leak after leak. They ain't putting it all there one time. They drop a little bit and let that simmer, then they drop another one and let that simmer, and then they drop some more. And the more they drop, the worse it seems to get. So this is not good. But did you realize that, and some people would argue that, well, they're only doing all this now to be a distraction. Whether or not that is true, I guess it depends on what side of the divide you sit on. But did you realize that because of the protests that took place downtown this week, another major story was impacted? What am I talking about? The Adrian Gibson trial was supposed to start on Monday, but it was postponed because of the protests. Check out this clip.
Adrian gotta go! Adrian gotta go! The sound of protests flooding the court of Justice Shell Grant Thompson today, causing yet another delay in the high-profile corruption trial of embattled Long Island MP Adrian Gibson, bringing to end what was expected to be the impaneling of a jury. Justice Grant Thompson revealing in court today the protest was a cause for concern for jurors who were exposed to it, possibly leading to the defendants not having a fair trial. This as the court was the scene of a surprise move, as it was revealed that former PLP Cabinet Minister Damian Gomez will now represent Gibson going forward alongside Muriel DeSille. Gomez requesting a gag order of the trial, closing it off to the reporting from mainstream media, crediting today's events for the request. He further requested Justice Grant Thompson to give him a month to study the case files and evidence, as he says he was only brought in on the case over the weekend. Gibson, along with 5 others, including his cousin Rashay Gibson, Campaign General Joan Knowles, and former Water and Sewage Corporation General Manager Elwood Donaldson, are facing 98 corruption-related charges, including bribery, conspiracy to commit bribery, fraud, conspiracy to commit fraud, receiving, and money laundering, all stemming from the time that the now embattled MP served as the executive chairman of the corporation under the Minnis administration. Today's adjournment follows a string of delays since the initial start date set in early May. Months later, though, with the argument of several constitutional motions, a temporary stay of the trial, and no jury, a new trial date has been set, which is expected to begin with the impaneling of a new jury.
I don't know. Maybe Mr. Gibson has some very long dollars, because it seemed like he keep changing lawyers. I don't know. He must have got some serious money. But the bottom line is he got to face the music. Might as well just get this thing over with. Go prove your innocence, but get it over with, because you keep going to the court and asking for them to throw this out and keep that and stay that next, and they keep telling you ain't nothing happening, you gotta face the music. So hopefully this is the last delay that we see. Okay, you got a new lawyer. You need time to review the case. Okay, let's see what happens. Hopefully this is the last delay, but you gotta face the music, my brother. You gotta face the music. You should keep delaying and delaying and delaying because I would like to think that costing you money. So face the music, man. Get it over with. Deal with the problem. You say you're innocent, run to go prove that. All right? That's what I would think that you would do. Okay, so we had that. We had executives of BPL stepping forward this week to try to explain why we've been having these outages. And then this whole question about the Wärtsilä engines came back up again. And trust me, that goes deeper than you care to know. Back when I used to work for ILTV, when I was general manager there, it was Eyewitness News that broke the story about the controversy surrounding the ongoings within the BPL and the firing of the board. Remember all that controversy that went down? We uncovered some very serious stuff, some of which we didn't even put to air because it would have compromised the persons who revealed it to us. And if you will recall, the Prime Minister at the time said that there would be this investigation, and we never hear no more about that. But a lot of it surrounded these Wärtsilä engines. A lot of what was going on within that tug of war that was going on within BPL had to do with this company Wärtsilä. So executives of the of BPL attended the press briefing at the office of the Prime Minister this week to try to explain what is happening with regard to these outages, and here's what they have to say.
Less than 24 hours after Prime Minister Philip Davis said something is rotten at BPL, adding the Wärtsilä engines never worked, BPL CEO Siobhan Cambridge says the engines haven't been operating the way they were designed. Speaking at the weekly OPM press briefing, Cambridge says the original proposal indicated the engines were supposed to be tri-fueled. He says work must now be done to convert them to tri-fuel engines, which require a significant investment.
While they're not tri-fuel ready, they're tri-fuel capable. And that means that they would require some works to convert them to being tri-fuel. So they, as designed, they're dual fuels, they're LFO and HFO engines. To get them to be tri-fuel will require an additional, at the time it was around about £500,000 investment.
BPL ended its contract with Wärtsilä to operate 123 megawatts of generation at Clifton Pier at the end of 2022. In March 2019, it was announced that BPL would install the Wärtsilä engines at a cost of $95 million.
I think some events occurred during the planning phases of that required an immediate need for additional capacity, as well as the time constraints. And so there were some modifications made to the original design, and that has resulted in the production or the ability of those units to produce as they are designed to being somewhat compromised.
The BPL CEO also revealing that modifications to the engines hampered the intended fuel-saving plan.
That has resulted in some eating or eroding of some of the fuel savings benefits that were envisioned with the project, as well as some of the operational and performance issues.
Oh, that's a lot of technical talk to say that maybe those Wärtsilä engine purchases were not the best decision. And based on information that we came across at the time when I was in the other place, yeah, there was something fishy going on within that, within BPL. And it played out with the firing of members of the board, and then the outright resignation and fleeing of other members of the board who just, I remember one particular lady put in a 10-page letter of resignation and gone. So there's a lot of skullduggery going on in there. You would not believe that if you heard the former prime minister who promised to give us a report. And I holding my breath because I'd have been dead a long time waiting on that. That report never came. But yet now we still suffering as a people. We have a call on the line. Caller, welcome to GPS.
Lady Malcolm.
Uh-huh.
This is right up my alley because I was a 30-year power technician at the telco.
Okay.
So I understand exactly what's going on. Now, see, you say a lot of skullduggery is there, yes, because the board that was originally fired were handpicked by the Progressive Liberal Party, Patrick Rollins and them. I know Patrick Rollins is waiting me to Padelco. I know what their political persuasion was. So they fired the entire board, and I guess they installed their own people. However, let me take it down to the engineering level. I worked in Padelco Power Department for more than almost 20 years, going around installing generators and helping to install generators and power plants and backup battery systems. There is, when you buy something, because BPL and Padelco basically on the same level when it comes to purchase and stuff. When you buy something from a company like that, and the company send their people, because they ain't gonna let you install that. They can send their people who's capable of installing that.
Mm-hmm.
That operation is called a turnkey operation.
Okay.
And you buy those generators before the white boys turn that over to the Bahamians. The Bahamian engineers at Patelco or BTC will inspect and be along the entire process. Those engines are being set up and installed and tested and tested and tested. And when our engineers are good and ready to say, okay, these engines are good, then the foreign nationals turn the key over to the Bahamians.
Mm-hmm.
That happened. Now, in addition to the turnkey turning it over, those generators were still under warranty.
Make it quick now, because we only got 2 minutes left on the show, so make it quick.
Okay, they was under warranty.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So, and the tri-fuel, I don't know if the Prime Minister thinks tri-fuel is some special type of fuel. All tri-fuel mean is it either could go on bunker C, LNG, or diesel. That's all that means.
Mm-hmm.
Those generators were working. And if the Bahamian engineers accepted that knowing they wasn't working, then all of them need to get fired.
I hear you.
In a nutshell.
All right. I can leave that right there because we ain't got time to go into it much deeper than that. Yeah, I ain't gonna touch that no further. Maybe on a future show we'll be able to look more deeply into what really went down in BPL. But right now I only got a minute left in the show today, so we gotta wrap this up. But thank you so much for calling and giving us your input. Boy, time flies when you're having fun, eh? I hope you guys enjoyed the show as much as I did bringing it to you. I have one comment that I'm going to read real quick from a viewer that says, very entertaining show today. Can't stop smiling to myself. Your reactions are worth $1 million Canadian dollars. Laugh out loud. Glad you're enjoying the show. All right, guys, my time is gone. Got to get out of here. I hope you have a safe and wonderful weekend. I know I certainly intend to do so. Let's just show each other a little love and compassion as we all try to make our way through this crazy world in which we live. And in spite of what that caller says, let's put our trust in God, y'all. Let's put our trust in God. Because navigating through this life without Him is a nightmare. Until next week, I'm Michelle Malcolm. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. Take care.
Global 99.5 FM reminds our listeners that the views and opinions expressed on this show are those of the host and guests and not necessarily the opinions of the owners of Globe.